The BBC's modern rebrand was blasted on Tuesday's instalment of Patrick Christie's GB News programme by his guests. Journalists in the Wool find Stephanie Dookie hit out at the £7 million logo revamp, which was revealed in the Daily Express. The BBC rejected repeated requests under the Freedom of Information Act before the amount was finally disclosed to the publication. Writer Emma began, "So the Daily Express has been doing this really interesting investigation which I was actually following. The BBC has taken months and months to reveal how much this rebranding costs. This is license fee payers' money. This £7 million rebrand was a digital rebrand to create a modern BBC, and this is as over 75-year-olds are forced to pay the license fee and many regional news outlets have been closing." Stephanie interjected to say she does like the BBC and the content it creates on its platforms. EastEnders star admits they were terrified to return to Walford. However, she added, "In terms of their infrastructure, they always fail to read the room in terms of finances and where their money should be going. How they could spend £7 million on logos just doesn't make sense to me." Host Patrick Christie's quipped, "If I had a toddler and she drew one of these logos at kindergarten, I'm not sure he'd even put it on the fridge." Co-host Ali Costello agreed and said the logos are just squares that she would be able to draw herself. Stephanie added, "I feel like they owe the public an explanation about why it cost £7 million. The rebranding cost an eye-watering £7,261,039 and it was rolled out last October after market research suggested the BBC's branding was dated." Advertising agency Wolf Olins was hired by the broadcaster to work on the revamp. The BBC accepted in June that there were insufficient grounds to justify withholding information about the rebranding. BBC Breakfast host pens sweet tribute to co-star as he makes debut. Latest mayflies on BBC One's filming locations. Inside Naga Munchetty hits out at Charlie State over betrayal on BBC show. Reaction: Rebecca Ryan, campaign director of Defund the BBC, exclusively told the Daily Express, "This is typical from the BBC. The organization's complete lack of transparency is one of the reasons thousands of people are choosing to stop funding it." Once seen as a cuddly, if slightly stuffy, elderly ant, in its desperation to stay relevant with a disinterested youth audience, the BBC has morphed into a belligerent bully, lecturing us on how to think. It's time to pull the plug on the TV license and force the BBC to become answerable to those that choose to fund it. The BBC told the Daily Express, "The BBC's rebranding process is a complex project and involves many multiple interdisciplinary teams and an external supplier. On liaising with senior colleagues in the BBC's brand division who have expert knowledge of the way such information is held by the BBC, to answer your request would take in excess of 18 hours to identify and extract the requested information." The Daily Express rejected this excuse and appealed to the Information Commissioner's office in June. Finally, in December, the BBC reconsidered its decision and revealed the information the publication first requested in April.